More agri scutter on the bench here today. This is a Fendt dash off a Vario, all digital dash. There's no analog clocks like on see this John Deere here. So all these little LEDs, light emitting diodes, they represent the RPM, speed, all that crack. So what happens on these, I've seen a few of these, the LEDs just burn out over time. So I'm just going around here with positive and negative probes here, injecting some voltage just to see which of these LEDs are shagged and then mark them down. So these lads usually boot up at around 3 volts, give or take, depending on what colour. And here's a super zoom in here. That little square there at the top is actually what glows and ignites. That's a little tiny piece of silicon. If I put positive on the bottom, negative on the top, you'll see it. Now, whoever invented this technology must be laughing all the way to the bank. These things are everywhere, LEDs. You see them in the backlight of screens, phones, everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And a lot of bulbs in houses are turning LED as well. Much cheaper option compared to the fluorescent bulbs, where they just eat electricity and create loads of heat. These lads are relatively cheap to run. And of course, I actually ended up replacing every single LED on it because I bought the wrong feckin' colour. The green was just so slightly off, and it was grand, but I'm sure it would have looked a bit wanky when I put the dash all together. But it wasn't too bad, because you have to buy these in 50s or 100s usually because they're so small. Like that's smaller than a grain of rice. They're absolutely tiny little yolks. But I mean, it was grand anyway. It looked the job when it was done. It's just that there's no part numbers on these. They're that small, so you kind of have to guess. I've fucked that up a couple of times, getting slightly different colours. But it's grand. It looks the job when it's all put back together. You wouldn't have a clue actually. It's just when you see them side by side. And I didn't have a comparison here, but even they look slightly different. When I don't have a zoom in here, but if you can look at it there, the shape of it's slightly different. There's silicone or whatever. And all that wet stuff around there is called flux. I get asked that all the time. That's just to help the solder flow and stop the metal from oxygenating or oxidizing. It just makes everything easier. You absolutely need it when you're doing microscopic soldering. Yeah, so just got to test it all up now and put it back together. And that's her, lads. Skip.